Yes, looks good. Came out good. The shit you talk about. Assaulting some 80-year-old man. No, that's not. You can't do that, man. It's rare. You'd have to be one hell of a scumbag to get fucked up at 80 years old. You'd have to naturally think about it. How scummy could you have been? It's hard to imagine that would merit that I beat you down or something. Not me so much, but just kicking it this morning, slow style. I had this fucking stove on, started to gas myself. I'm like, yeah, I love that feeling, dude. And you keep the broiler on or something because it's like really cold today. I just heat up the room and then I turn it off, you know. But yeah, I've just been bored out of my mind watching a lot of the Cobain shit just because it's I don't know why. I don't know why. Because people like to talk about it. It's something you can sleep to. It's something you can think about. People have all these questions about Courtney and shit. I don't think it has to do with Courtney. I think it must have, if what I'm thinking is true, it must have been very scary for her. They probably told her something like, if she was, you know, she might not even know. But if she did know, like people think, they probably told her, don't be at that house, don't be. You never know. She could have been, she probably knew. She's well connected. And she may think, in another scenario that I'm thinking is she may even think she's responsible for that, or some other people might think, but she's not. I mean, for the very idea of her taking him out, it wasn't generated from within her. That idea was something in the works. When you get to be celebrity on that level, you're like one of two types. You're the freakish kind, like he was, that could fulfill a role for a short period in history and be relevant and be fucking clueless, like a sleeper, like he was. He wasn't a stupid man, but in the ways of the world, yes, he did not know what the fuck was going on. Courtney had been around the world by that point. She had been a dancer in fucking Hong Kong or something. Lived in Ireland, Her father is no fucking idiot. As much as she dislikes him, I read his books, and he's no idiot. He used to hang around with the Grateful Dead. The Grateful Dead and groups like that have roots in Americana. So things like the Mafia. When Kurt started doing things like, I don't know if he was marked for death by that point, but this certainly sealed his fate. When he decided not to do Woodstock or Lollapalooza or something, Woodstock probably, that's where the money was. In the way of close to $10 million. It was 9.5 or something. That's not like him saying, I'm going to reject all this money I can make. He's now crippling the entire package, what it's worth, the value of it. When you're talking about $10 million, you'd better do that fucking show, buddy. You had better. He probably was told that too. I bet you he used to probably have people call his house and leave messages like, you better, just like that, you better do that show, my friend, or you won't see fucking tomorrow. Or in fucking utero, in the oven you go. Tickets. There's no fucking way that guy killed himself. His life wasn't that bad. He was depressed because his wife was out with Evan Dando and everybody in the world, but I mean, how did he get into that marriage in the first place? I think Kurt was a bisexual man. I think one of his boyfriends was Michael Stipe probably, or something like that. But I think it hurt him because he must have been a bisexual dude. I don't think that would be enough for him to blow his fucking brains out, though. Which I've heard all kinds of conflicts. This is not important what shape his body would be in. But believe me, his head was disfigured and bent. I don't care if it was light load shotgun shells. That's gonna, internally at least, it's gonna bust some shit loose. You're gonna have some pressure. You're gonna have some. And he was there for 2 days, so yeah, you're gonna need a closed casket. I mean, or some reconstructive Sabbath mortician shit would be like, I can't do this. But yeah, it seems that way because for hits, if it was a hits when they go down like that, they have to come down from the very fucking top. They don't come down from the middle. That's rare. They do, but it's fucking rare, and it's crazy like that. But the big tip, the big toppermost likes to send those orders down the chain. I'd like to know what the fuck he did that would merit that. But like I said, and I think Dave Grohl might come from elitist background too. But I don't think Cobain had a fucking clue. Just like Tupac almost. He seemed to have that disillusion, that confusion as to, and probably that panic, like this can't be real. I know it's all phony and everything's phony, but even this can't be fucking real. That shit started to creep into his head. Usually it drives a motherfucker crazy. Tupac didn't take heroin. He was probably smoking crack and snorting coke, and that probably didn't help. When people laugh about the crazy shit he did, like Tupac would do, he'd jump into your car, or you jump into his car, and he'll be like, drop me off in any black neighborhood off this highway. Because, when you're Tupac, you're walking around Hollywood and shit, and you don't fucking fit in. Especially back then, there was like, you were either Biggie Smalls or you were fucking, I gotta get with my people. I can't be around these fucking white people. That's where all this sin and all this weird shit crept into my life. That's when it started for these white people. So and people would think that was weird. I don't think it's weird. It makes sense to me. But he's another one. Cobain must have really pissed off a lot of people for anybody to even take that hit. So, yeah, there are such things as guardian angels and shit like that. In people's lives, if you're anybody, and if you find yourself in a circle, that's anything, and you won't even. It will probably take a lifetime to meet those people that have been your angels. And he obviously had some really thoughtful angels to put him in that position. Because that's where people go to pretty much die. Or be reborn, rather. He could have just been the guy that could have done that role. But that's what $10 million... I think that was enough to say, fuck that, we're going to kill this motherfucker. If he's going to kill our money like that. Because, think, if you were alive back then, that would have, at Woodstock, I don't even remember who was there. It was like, I remember Green Day, and that's it, really. I didn't go, but, and even Billy Joe Armstrong said, he's just like, I don't know, now it's just another celebration, whatever. But if Nirvana was there, it would have been a whole different bag of fucking shells at that time. They were the toppermost. You couldn't go anywhere. You'd hear cars in traffic playing, Heart-Shaped Box or something. It really was that big. I saw all that go down. I'd like to think I was part of the underground to help make that happen. Because that was the kind of shit we were doing in our bedrooms down here. We could have either been Nirvana or Green Day, and at one point we became very close to both of them without having heard them. Both West Coasts were getting fed that shit. I was, and so were they, obviously, but they got it a lot quicker. They had 4 years on me. You're probably not even you're probably not even a fan of it, or don't even care about the story. But you should listen, if you haven't yet, you should listen to Courtney Love's Father talk. He makes too much sense to be the crazy, wacko that she said he is. I don't think he is. But, yeah. Come on, dude. You don't get to live a life like that unless you're an extremely smart hippie that You can't live a life like that being a roadie for the dead. And that's what, you know. But yeah, I don't think Courtney could have easily just gotten a divorce or finagled to fucking got him to sign some shit when he was fucked up. Maybe there's a million other things she could have done than do that. That's the father of her fucking kid, and it seems like she does love her kid. You see her in footage all through the years, and she's tightly holding her, and you could see the love there. I don't believe a lot of the shit I hear. But yeah, you grow up with a crackhead, it doesn't matter how much money you have, that's crackhead shit. You know, I did too. I grew up with all that. It's crazy, but you get over it. But it must have been fucked up for her because the details were all different. She come from money. You know, her mother could be a hoarder. Her mother could do these things. Extremely powerful crackhead. It must fuck with you as a kid. You're like, so this is what it takes to be a number one bitch or a number one motherfucker in the world, to be a crazy crackhead? And it's like, yeah, many have done it. She can afford it. That's the difference. But yeah, she's a bit of a psycho. She's got that history, that violence out of nowhere. That's how she loses all her men. That fucking violence. She's violent. I will fucking break your nose right here in front of the paparazzi, in front of everyone. Yep. Oh, I'm so depressed today, dude. I just want the pussy. Just want the Melabot pussy. Yes. That's what I tell myself all day. Yes, daddy, yes. Hell yeah. She said, I have to tell you again, I'm 17. I'm like, okay, excellent. Just checking. You gotta be. You've got to be. Think about how great it would be to have the deer head and the Melabot. I'll just screw the Melabot though. But to have them both in your house, you got one of the bitches doing yoga in the fucking living room, you got the other bitch playing video games and just being young and shit. You're like, oh my god. Just to be around them all day, to be around chicks. La 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 la. Yeah. I need my dishes done so bad right now. I bet you this is the time when a bitch would be, do you want your dishes done? I'll do the dishes. You don't have anything to clean these fucking things with now. I'm like, I know, you got a little bit of soap there. A little bit of soap will wash away lipstick from my case, my pillowcase. Will wash away the patchouli from Melabot sheets. No, Daddy, never. I love the way you smell. I love how chicks do that shit. Yes, Melabot. Oh, we got those little voices, I don't know. Yes. I should go outside today, but it's just too cold and it's too depressing.